Why, howdy, everyone. Welcome to week 10 here in Correctional Systems. This week, before we get started with this week's material, let me go over a couple different things. First, if you haven't figured out, I'm not my usual Hawaiian shirt garb. Today is, as I'm recording this on Friday, the first day of Oktoberfest that my church puts on in Galveston every day. We'll have several thousand people show up for beer and Oompa music. So if you're old enough and into beer and Oompa music, or just into Oompa music and underage, come on down to Galveston and enjoy the Oktoberfest. So that's kind of where we're at. And if you're kind of wondering about the appearance of my eye and nose, yeah, I had a crash on the seawall on my bike. I wasn't beaten by my wife or anything of the sort. It wasn't hurt in training. Those are the things I told people last week. Yeah, I do have a couple cracks in my skull, and they went in the sinus wall, and I think two around the eye orbit. So don't fall off your bike on the seawall when you're going 18 miles an hour. You got my tire stuck in a split between the actual seawall and the sidewalk, and I bet you there's no cracks in there for 9.5 of the 10 miles on the seawall, and I happened to find the one spot where it was. But anyway, that kind of explains the appearance, and I will go ahead and get out of the way, and we'll talk about what we've got going on this week. First, this week, we're going to be looking at Chapter 8 on prisoners' rights. So read the chapter in your book, watch the video, take the all-important quiz, making sure you make at least a 70 on it. Again, this will not be visible to you unless you've already completed Chapter 7's quiz and discussion. Once you do that, it will be visible. And then we've got to complete the original post for Chapter 8, making sure that you get the most important, most interesting part of the chapter for you and all your discussion questions. And then you need to complete the follow-up post to discussion number 7. Got quite a few people this week that did not complete their follow-up post to discussion 6. They just did their original post. So just kind of make sure you do that. And then the final thing that we've got this week is the class video presentation discussion. Come down here to it. Let's see where the link is. We go click on the link. You will find your discussion, and everybody has got at least some questions. Looks like got one person on non-lethal weapons actually has a total of 7 posts, so you've got several questions asked. Answer each of the questions the best of your ability. Simply click on your post. Let's see the non-lethal weapons with all of these. We've got questions. Is there any non-lethal weapons that y'all used on base? I use many non-lethal weapons that. Okay, he answered that one already, so he's already got that answer there. What is your go-to non-lethal weapon? And he answered taser. And then finally, do you have an opinion as to how effective non-lethal weapons versus lethal weapons are? And he already answered those. So Billy's already done his follow-up post. But for the rest of you who haven't, just click on your post. All you will do is click on the question here. Sebastian asks Zoe, what level of offender qualifies for good time? Like, can offenders with felonies get good time or not? What you would do is you'd click on reply, or Zoe would. So if it's yours, you just click on reply, and then you type your answer in there. So that would be it for each question. If you don't know the answer to the question and you can't find out the answer, tell them, I'm not sure. I looked, but I can't find that, or didn't find that in my research. So you've answered every question, even if you haven't come up with an answer to the question. Just give us some kind of an answer. Well, that's all I've got for you this week. I'll talk to you again next week. Y'all have a great weekend.